Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, and welcome to my final video of 2013. 2013 was a very interesting year, a lot of things going on, especially on the YouTube front. The whole YouTube and Google Plus integration, all of the content ID claims, and that whole madness that was going on in the middle of the year and also at the end of the year. It was very, very, very hectic and very, very eventful, but overall, it was still a very good year, and for the first time, I'm going to be making a video, my first list video, where I name, in my opinion, my top 10 projects of 2013. As usual, I'm going to be going through this list in a backwards order from my 10th most favorite to my favorite. I'm going to also list some special mentions as well, but aside from that, it's just going to be what I think was my best project from the last year, and some other projects that I thought were very, very close to being the best. As usual, this is based on my opinion. Some of you guys may disagree with my opinion, and if so, feel free to make comments in the video description. I'm curious to see what you guys think are my best projects from the year, and just argue your point there. But aside from that, this is just what I think were my best projects of the year, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First off, I want to get started with the special mentions. These are the games that just didn't make the list because while I thought they were alright playthroughs that did have something special about them, they just didn't have the same impact as the others on the list. But I did want to say something about these 5 titles before I actually close out the year with my actual list. First title I want to mention is Paper Mario. I really wanted to put this on the list, but I was a bit conflicted just because this playthrough started very close to the end of 2013, and by the time the year would have ended, I would not even be halfway through the project. And as a result, I think that kind of means the project will be more suited as a 2014 playthrough, as opposed to a 2013 playthrough. But I've really enjoyed the project so far. It seems like you guys are enjoying it as well. And hopefully we'll see this title very highly on the next year's list. The next special mention goes to Fortune Street. For very similar reasons. I felt like the spirit of this project was mostly back in 2012 when I started it. And even though the majority of it happened this year, I feel like, again, the spirit of it was back in 2012 when I actually started it. I was way more excited about the playthrough back then. I felt like the project was a bit more exciting and a bit more thrilling because it was a game that people didn't really get to see so often, and over time it did get more repetitive, and I can definitely see why the second half of the playthrough didn't rank as highly as the first half. I believe when I did last year's list on Facebook, when I did my top 10, Fortune Street was number 3, and this year it didn't even make the list at all. Again, it just didn't have the same impact as it did back in 2012, which is kind of a shame, but it was still very good. A lot of very memorable moments, especially making Mario the Peach of Fortune Street. Next special mention goes to Donkey Kong Country Returns. When 2013 began, there were a few games that I specifically wanted to highlight. Those games were Pokemon Stadium, Paper Mario, and this game. Although this game did fall a bit short on the list, it was still a good playthrough, and for that I couldn't pass on mentioning it. But it just didn't really make the list. I felt there were a few other games that just achieved a little more, at least in my opinion. Next special mention goes to the Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. Just due to the nature of this playthrough and why I wanted to play this game to begin with, I couldn't not mention it. Honestly, it was a very, very good playthrough of a very classic, nostalgic game from my childhood. The only reason it didn't make the list, it was only 5 videos, and I basically recorded the whole game on an afternoon, and it just did not really have much of an impact in that light. It was just a very, very short playthrough, but it was still a lot of fun too, and I wanted to mention the game at least for that reason. The final project I want to give special mention to is Pokemon Blue Kaizo. Although I consider this as mostly a side project and not really a main one, I can't ignore the project because it's had a really huge fan following, and I also really love playing the game as well. It's really cool to play a hack of one of my all-time favorite childhood series, the Pokemon series, and Blue Kaizo is just one of those games that you just gotta love to hate because, you know, one minute you're having fun seeing all these modified Pokemon with different move sets, and you get to build your team a lot earlier because there's more choices that you have in picking your Pokemon team. But then they throw like a huge freaking area with walls everywhere, wild grass everywhere. You can't really get through one room without going back to heal your Pokemon. It was just a lot of fun to play through this game. Again, just the nature of it being a side project and the fact that I only update this project like once a month or whenever a project ends. That's why I kind of had to not put this on the list. But it's been a lot of fun, and I really wanted to at least mention it before I moved on the list. So, now that all the special mentions are in, let's actually get started on the top 10. Number 10, Pokemon Stadium. I was banking on this title being the big hit for 2013 just due to the success of Pokemon Blue back in 2012. Although this ended up being at the bottom of the list, I don't think I can necessarily fault myself or even the game for its position here. Unlike the Pokemon Adventure games, Pokemon Stadium is just battling. It takes away a huge novelty of what makes the Pokemon such a great series. You start on a grand adventure with your Pokemon partners and live out so many different experiences and moments together. In Stadium, you remove the entire aspect. It would be the same thing if you removed all the battling from the adventure games. It would just be you walking from point A to point B with nothing happening in between. In all honesty, this didn't really have the ability to have the same success as the Blue Let's Play, working at only half power, missing a vital part of what made Blue successful in the first place. Plus, looking at how I eventually decided to handle this game, only covering a few modes at a time, there wasn't a huge amount of content or variety here either, considering that this was more of a follow-up to my Pokemon Blue team, an epilogue of sorts. I expect this game to make some more waves at a later date when things become a little more interesting and with more newer Pokemon teams being involved, but for now, for being a spin-off or epilogue of the Blue Let's Play, it was still pretty satisfying, and I enjoyed coming back to this game and actually playing through with my Pokemon Blue team. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I guess it just flops around a lot. How does Slowbro use Fly anyway? No, that doesn't work. Slowbro can't learn Fly. It's not even using it. I would have used it. Why not?
Number 9, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. As popular as the Zelda franchise is, and as much as I love it too, I wouldn't consider it my specialty, which is why this is only the third Zelda Let's Play on my channel, and why this title only ranked in at number 9. However, it's an extremely fun game with a lot of nostalgic value for me. It was the second Zelda game I ever played, and definitely the second Zelda game I ever made it all the way through. Much like Stadium, though, it just didn't have the same amount of impact as other games on this list, but I didn't feel like I could count it out completely. It was still a lot of fun, and once again, I hope you guys enjoyed it too.
Oh, so the doorway is open again. Okay. Maybe I should make up with my brother. Yeah. You don't store your brother in a room. You spank him.
Number 8, Super Mario Kart. I wanted Mario Kart to be the next Mario Party on my channel, and although this title only made it in at number 8, I don't think I completely missed the mark. There are still plenty of titles in this series, and this is only the beginning. Expect more mushroom boosting, turtle shell throwing, and Starman knocking in the future. Until then, this was still a very fun project, and I'm glad I started the Mario Kart franchise.
No, come on! No! I am not getting third for that. No way in hell.
Number 7, Super Mario 64. Being a gamer for more than 20 years, there have been plenty of nostalgic moments, and I think for many gamers of my age, one of the most defining was the jump from the SNES Mario to the N64 Mario. That was the basis for why I even decided to play that game in the first place, and honestly, I'm glad I did. There may be plenty of Super Mario 64 Let's Plays out there, especially now that people are spamming the Nintendo DS version of the game, but I definitely felt like I made my Let's Play unique, and it gave gamers, including myself, a reminder of that walk down 64-bit memory lane.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
I always feel like somebody's watching me. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ah! Number 6, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I may be cheating a bit by putting 2 titles here for number 6, but both projects were just so short and similar that it made more sense to include them both in the same place. Being a Nintendo guy on YouTube for such a long period of time, switching it up to Sega was a bit of a surprise, almost more so than I even expected it would be. But I'm glad I jumped into the territory of the blue blur, as it opened up a number of future project possibilities. The jump was also well received by you guys as well, when a nearly instant demand of the sequel Let's Play pushed it forward to 2013 as well, when it was originally intended for a 2014 release.
What? I died! I died in Supersonic! Against 2 things that weren't supposed to kill me!
Number 5, Kirby Squeak Squad. Not going to lie, I wasn't expecting this project to get the reception that it did, or even the amount of enjoyment I had with it either. But this was actually a really fun game to play through. It's no Kirby Superstar or Kirby 64, but it's Kirby, the puffball we love to love. This also featured a lot of really funny jokes and moments that I'm surprisingly still keeping in my head long after the Let's Play is ended. When a Let's Play can do that, you can know it's definitely a good one.
Boom, boom, boom. Wow, that was unnecessary damage. Let's just kill a whole family of Waddle Dees.
Number 4, The Simpsons Game. I think this is the project that a lot of you expected to clock in at number 1, or at least number 2. But while I do think this was a great run, I had to stick 3 other games in front of it for personal reasons. Although this game is quite inferior to Hit and Run, it's still a game that perfectly represents the atmosphere and humorous nature of the Simpsons world. It was the first time of me fully playing through this game as well, and I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I got to share it with you guys as well for the first time.
Oh, Homer, try to show a little dignity in victory.
Eat this, Lord Crunch!
Number 3, The Stanley Parable. I'm sure some of you guys are scratching your heads wondering how this game made it so high up on the list, but the fact of the matter is, this project took me completely by surprise. It happened during a time when, once again, my laptop was being worked on and I needed something to fill in the holes of my upload schedule while everything was being fixed up. The result, a game where I've probably laughed more than I ever have during my entire gaming life. It's one of those games that you have to experience blindly first, and sure, it will never have very much replay value, but it's the kind of experience that you'll never forget once you've played it.
Oh no, stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
I won't die.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Whee!
No! Oh, thank God you lived. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Whee!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to me? You're literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Oh, God.
It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Whee!
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Oh, God, that was the best. That was the best.
Number 2, Banjo-Kazooie. I was actually kind of surprised that I ranked this one so high, but it's the one project I can look back at and say, wow, nothing upsetting or bad happened during the entire duration of this Let's Play. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I wouldn't say I'm completely surprised though, as Banjo-Kazooie is one of those games that you just feel good about while you're playing through it, laughing at the silliness and having large bursts of nostalgia as you experience one of 3D platforming's greatest achievements. Oh, Gobi, I hate you. You were mean to Trunker. You don't even know your own name either. Hobo the Camel? Who's Hobo the Camel? Number 1, Mario Party 9. Mario Party is no stranger to my channel, and my Let's Play of the somewhat controversial 9th installment of the series was yet another welcome addition to the insanity. Mario Party 9 changed quite a few things from the tried-and-true formula that was used in the previous 8 console installments, but the one thing it didn't change was the chaos that typically ensues in any Mario Party game, and for that I can appreciate and respect the new approach. This chaos carried over to my Let's Play as well, stirring up some classic frustrations and some epic victories, including the very satisfying victory where I finally brushed the monkey off my back from Mario Party 5. Oh my god, how much did I win by? What?! You gotta be kidding me! 1 star! Oh my god. Oh my god. Well guys, there you have it. That's my top 10 list of my top 10 projects from 2013. Remember, this is just my opinion, so if you guys have a different opinion, if you think something else, think some titles should be switched around, think there was a title that didn't even make the list, feel free to let me know in the video comments section below. I'd be happy to hear your opinion. Until then, though, I think I'm going to close it up for this year. It was a great year. Thanks for staying with me throughout this entire year. If you're an old subscriber, thanks for your continued support. If you're a new subscriber, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you for future years. And for all of you guys who have just come in recently, thanks for joining. And I'm going to make 2014 a great year. There should be a lot of excitement, a lot of enjoyment, and a lot more chaos. So hope to see you guys there. This has been Slim Kirby. I'll see you Star Warriors in 2014.